Hello fellow horror collectors, if you don't know, my name is Mike, and in this video I'm going to be giving my top 5 Nightmare on Elm Street NECA figures that we need in our collections. And if you like horror collectibles just as much as I do, please consider clicking the subscribe button and also giving this video a thumbs up if you agree with any of my picks. But without further ado, let's slice right into it. Believe it or not, coming up with a top 5 list for Nightmare on Elm Street NECA figures that we need was actually a lot more challenging than it was for Friday the 13th, which seemed pretty straightforward, and we all in unison agree on that. And just a quick heads up, my number 4 and 5, in theory, probably could be combined into one figure, but I would like it in 2, and you'll find out why. But here is number 1. The number 1 figure that we need from NECA is an absolute crime. It's criminal that we do not have a Nancy Thompson figure. What in the hell is going on? We need more final girls in our collections. Not only do we need just more female in general, it's a freaking giant sausage fest in this room, and it drives me crazy. We need a Nancy Thompson. Of course, we got Laurie Strode, and we got Ellen Ripley, but we never got like a Sidney Prescott or a Kirsty Cotton or a Nancy Thompson, one of the best final girls ever in horror history. It is criminal, I tell you. Criminal! But seriously, this is something that a lot of you talked about in the comments in the last video that I did about the top 5 NECA figures that we need. And my friend Danielle and I have talked about this a few times as well, that we need more final girls on our shelves. And Nancy Thompson is absolutely one of the best to do it. And me personally, I don't care if we got a 1984 Nancy Thompson or a frickin' 1987 Nancy Thompson. I don't care. Me personally, I would like a Part 3 Dream Warriors, an older, more experienced Nancy, maybe with the white streak in her hair. That would be so freaking cool, you guys. The accessories speak for themselves, but we need a Nancy Thompson. She's in the thumbnail. You want it. I want it. Just seriously, somebody make this happen. NECA, if you ever watch this, and I know you are, we need Nancy Thompson, and we need her right now. She's number 1. But number 2 on the list of figures that we need is going to be a Springwood slasher figure. And I'm sure you already know what that means, but just in case you don't, let's go ahead and elaborate a little bit. The Springwood slasher, of course, is Fred Krueger before he was burned, before he was a dream demon and started terrorizing teens in their sleep and all of that. This is the prequel, if you will, when he was just a child murderer as a human, just straight up. Now, if you don't know, NECA has actually put out 2 Fred Krueger inspired action figures in the past. One of which was this one right here from San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from a long time ago, like a decade ago. The head sculpt isn't that great on it, and the figure is already pre-posed with very limited articulation, but it is out there if you're interested. There's some on eBay right now. But the one that I think is a lot more interesting is the Series 4 Nightmare on Elm Street one that we got from Freddy's Dead, and that's this one right here. Of course, it's the standard Freddy body with the sweater, the glove, and all of that. I don't believe it has any articulation in the legs, but the head sculpt and the likeness to Robert Englund is actually pretty damn good, as you can see here. This Series 4 figure here either needs to be re-released so more fans can celebrate the Springwood slasher and have him on display in their collections. Because let's be real, not only is it another way to display and collect one of our favorite slashers of all time, but it's also a way to honor the legendary and iconic Robert Englund who brought this character to life for all of us to enjoy. So you could easily just re-release this figure, and that would make a lot of fans very happy, myself included, because I didn't realize how rare this figure was. It be coming out a decade ago, 10, 11 years ago this figure actually came out, and I scoured the internet trying to find one for sale when I was doing some research for this video, and I found one on the entire internet, and I just paid up for it, and I went ahead and grabbed it, so I got one coming in. But man, oh man, is this thing hard to find, and when you find it, you got to pay up a little bit. But it's definitely something they could do in terms of a re-release, or what they could do is do a not even a reissue, but an ultimate style Springwood slasher figure. Robert Englund head sculpt, likeness, looking great. The accessories would be great. He could have the full Freddy glove on one hand. You could have him maybe alternate torsos from the sweater to the black shirt that he wore with the brown leather jacket. Something similar to what Sideshow did back in 2005, if y'all remember that 1/6 scale. But we're not talking about Sideshow in this video. This is about NECA. You can even do the Freddy vs. Jason one where he has the one finger blade that he was sharpening. You could do like a little photo album of all the scenes, all the newspaper articles of all the children that he killed and kidnapped. The accessories speak for themselves, but an ultimate or re-release of the Springwood Slasher is easily going to be the second one I have on my list. Number 3 on my list is going to be a little bit of an odd one, and I've never seen anybody else say this before. I'm sure they have. Calm down. I'm not acting like, I'm the only one to come up with this. I'm sure it's out there somewhere on the internet. The internet's fucking massive. But I would really like a Freddy Krueger figure from the TV show The Goldbergs. Now, open and honesty, I've never seen a single episode outside of the one that Robert Englund did as Freddy Krueger. I'm just not a huge fan of the show, and that's fine, but what I believe this is going to be the very last time Robert Englund ever plays Freddy Krueger on screen. This is the very last Freddy Krueger we're ever going to get, probably in our lifetimes, obviously portrayed by the great Robert Englund. So why would we not want to have an action figure of Freddy the very last time he wore that makeup, put on that glove, and performed as Freddy Krueger? That would be absolutely awesome. If you don't know, this episode was back in October of 2018. It was season 6, episode 5. Go check it out. Robert Englund played Freddy Krueger one last time. And I think to be able to put the final Freddy from the screen onto our shelf, I think would be really, really cool. And that's why this figure had to be on my list. My 4th figure that we need from Nightmare on Elm Street and NECA is going to have to be an ultimate Freddy Krueger, Freddy vs. Jason style. I love the look of Freddy and Freddy vs. Jason. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, if not my favorite movie of all time, simply for what it was. To bring these two on screen together, just to this day, just gives me goosebumps, and I just can't get over it. But anyway, I digress. Freddy vs. Jason style Ultimate Freddy would be absolutely amazing. His makeup was so on point. He looked so damn good in that movie. And for whatever reason, NECA, I'm pretty sure, stopped the Ultimate Freddy line after Part 3 Dream Warriors. So I don't know why we didn't get 4, 5, 6. I have no idea. I want those as well. So bundle them all together. Let's take this whole number 4 here and let's bunch them all together, right? And we want you to finish the Ultimate Freddys. 4, 5, 6, Freddy vs. Jason. We want them all. But I really want an Ultimate Freddy vs. Jason Freddy Krueger. I think that would just be so damn cool. I would love that so much. And of course, my last pick, again, could be the same figure, but I would like it to be a little bit differently. If you saw the thumbnail, you all know, you've been waiting for me to say this because we all want it. So let's go ahead and go in to number 5. But number 5 on my list for Nightmare on Elm Street, you know it, I know it, the world knows it. Let's get it all together now. Demon Freddy from Freddy vs. Jason. Oh my God. Somebody, seriously, Chubb alert incoming. I'm going to flip the table any second now. When Freddy jumps out of the lake in Freddy vs. Jason and he has that dark red, the evilest, most sinister look he's ever had on his face. That makeup is beautiful. It's such an awesome look for Freddy. The makeup appliance was absolutely top notch. Now, Sideshow back in 2015 actually did one of these. They tried to capture that look and that likeness. It's an awesome figure. I have it up on my shelf. It's one of the first collectibles I ever got back in the day. One of the first ones that I got that I still have. They did a great job back then, but I think NECA could do even better. I want that Demon Freddy. Oh my God. It wouldn't even have to be an Ultimate figure, but it could be. Maybe give him a stand so you can display him just the way he was when he jumped out of the water. Dude, this thing would be so cool. Now, granted, it could just be an alternate head for the Ultimate Freddy vs. Jason Freddy, but his sweater was a lot darker, and he also just jumped out of the lake. So this figure in particular, I would like him to look a little sleeker, kind of a wet look to him, and give the whole figure like a red tint kind of look to it. But this makeup was absolutely ridiculous, and everybody wants this style of Demon Freddy from Freddy vs. Jason. Please, Neca, seriously, make this happen. Name your price. Take my money, and I'm gonna fucking put it on my shelf and admire it every single day when I'm getting dressed for work. I'm gonna sit here, Indian style, on the floor, probably naked like I always do, and I'll look at the figure every single day. That's how bad I want this figure. Seriously, Neca, please, please make it happen. So there you have it. That is my top 5 Nightmare on Elm Street figures that I would love to see from Neca. Hopefully while I'm still alive, that would be nice. But honestly, the most important thing about this video is I want to know what figures you all want to see from Neca for Nightmare on Elm Street. So please put them down in the comment section below and let's talk all about it. If you guys are interested, you can follow me on Instagram right there for a more personal look at my life of horror. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for watching. And just one last time, my name is Mike, and this is my design.